Swift Balustrade by Cadswift makes light work of accurately modelling detailed balustrade configurations. In the user interface you have the ability to control the number of posts, you have up to 8, as well as the shape of these posts. You can also have 2 different types of posts within the one balustrade. Each of these posts can be either rectangular or elliptical, and you can also control the width, depth and height of these 2 different post types individually. You also have the ability to nominate the X, Y and Z coordinates of each individual post, making this possibly the most flexible balustrade tool available. You can also nominate the rotation of each post individually and the base extension of each post. In the handrail options, you can nominate obviously the handrail height, width and thickness and choose between rectangular or elliptical. You can also set an offset for the handrail, and you can also choose to turn on the second handrail and set its height. You also have the option for different end styles for each end of the handrail. These options are none, which gives you a simple extension if you adjust the extension value, or 90-degree turn down, or 180-degree turn down. You can also nominate the radius and length of these turn downs. For the balustrading, you can choose between solid, vertical, horizontal and none. You can also nominate to have a top and bottom rail turned on, and you can also choose between rectangular and elliptical for all these different elements. The ballast offset also allows you to position the balustrading exactly in the post where you want it to be. Apart from the highly flexible style and configure options for the balustrade in the user interface, the real treat to this part is the ability to manipulate the configuration of the balustrade in 2D and 3D window with editable hotspots. Once you have nominated your balustrade style and placed it in the 2D window, you then need to configure the position of each post. Every post has 4 hotspots in the 2D window. The 3 across the diagonal all do the same job, they just manipulate its XY coordinates, whereas the odd one in the corner is used to adjust the rotation of each individual post. I'll now use these hotspots to demonstrate the configuring of a complex balustrade path. You'll notice as I move this hotspot, the balustrade member that is currently fixed to this side of the post will adjust its anchor as I get closer to being in line with the next post. This has been achieved through some smart scripting that makes this part quite intelligent. You'll also notice if I move this post around to the other side, not only does the balustrading change its anchor, but so does the handrail. This means that no matter how you configure this balustrade, the handrail and balustrading elements will always be positioned correctly. Now that the path is laid out in 2D, you need to make sure it is positioned correctly in 3D. Go to the 3D window, select the balustrade. You'll notice once again in the balustrade you have a series of editable hotspots. Down the bottom you have 4 that are similar to the 2D window. The hotspots in opposite corners allow you to adjust XY coordinates. The one in the middle is for the post base extension. This does not adjust the Z coordinate of the entire post, just the extension of the base. And in the odd corner is a hotspot for the Z coordinate. We can use this hotspot to position this post in its correct location. The hotspot up the top is for post rotation. A quicker way to configure this balustrade would be to set the first post to the coordinate that you know it's going to be for the next few, as we will do with this one here, and then use the user interface to mimic this coordinate. And there's our balustrade. As you can see, this really does make configuring complex balustrading paths quite easy. If at any point you decide you want to change the style of balustrade, it's simply a matter of going into the user interface, going to the elements you want to change. We'll offset this handrail and we'll change it to elliptical, change our balustrading to a solid for glass balustrading, turn off our top and bottom rails, adjust the positioning of the balustrading, click OK, and there's the new balustrading. So as you can see, using the Swift Balustrade by Cadswift is a really intelligent and flexible way of modelling balustrading.